Kyle Linick here, and I wanted to talk to you about sacrifices. As I prepare for the Team Universe, each week there are more and more sacrifices I have to make. Some of those sacrifices are less time to have to myself, less free time for myself, less time to invest with family, with friends, minimal time to focus on work, minimal time to focus on school. The sacrifices I have to make become greater and greater each week as I get closer to this show. Something that people aren't willing to do is sacrifice things. So something you have to consider in yourself is how far are you willing to go? How much are you willing to sacrifice to attain the goals that you have set for yourself? I personally put a very high value on my bodybuilding competitions, my bodybuilding career, what I want to get out of bodybuilding. It means a lot to me. It's a passion, it's a drive, it's a determination that I just can't seem to get enough of. So when it comes to sacrifices, I'm very willing to make a great amount of sacrifices to achieve the level of physique, the level of competition, the level of bodybuilding that I want to attain. So before I even go into a show, before I even start to get ready for a show, I already know the sacrifices that I'm going to have to make. I already have a willingness to make sacrifices that a lot of people aren't. As I get closer to a show, I'm definitely spending less time with family. I'm spending less time with friends. I'm getting definitely a lot less time to myself, just personal free time to relax. There comes a point where it's just kind of go, go, go. You're constantly working. I'm sleeping less. I'm working all the time. I'm up right early in the morning, working out once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. My diet gets more strict. Things really have to start tightening up every single week. They get tighter and tighter and tighter as I get closer to the show. So the sacrifices that I must be willing to make to attain the level that I want to attain becomes greater and greater. And so what you have to decide for yourself is, what's your willingness to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want out of anything you choose in life? Whether it be bodybuilding, fitness, or anything for that matter, business related, family related. What are you willing to sacrifice to attain that goal that you have for yourself? A lot of people, they want great things, but a big part of it comes down to they're not willing to sacrifice the things that they know they should. Some people want a great physique, but they're not willing to sacrifice the times that they get to go eat out with their friends and their family. Some people want a great business career, but they're not willing to sacrifice their leisure time to put in that extra effort to get where they want to get. So what you have to ask yourself, what you have to figure out from yourself is, what are you willing to sacrifice? How much and how hard are you willing to work to get to where you want to get? So something I personally have to think about is, what sacrifices do I need to make this next week, and the week after, and the week after that, as I get close to the show, that are going to help me attain the level that I want to attain. So each week there's probably something that I'm going to have to cut out. As far as going out for the weekends, that may not be an option for me at all at some point. As far as any leisure time that I get during the day or during the weekend, eventually there may be none for me to have. I may just be constantly having to focus on the show. But that is something that the show is a very high value to me, so that's something that I'm willing to do. I'm willing to sacrifice that time, that joy, that, whatever you want to call it, mental break to get to where I want to get. So if you're questioning where you are and how far you've come and can you go even farther, really take a look at, what are you sacrificing? Could you sacrifice a little bit more? Could you push yourself a little bit harder and cut down on things that you don't necessarily need? Maybe you enjoy, but you don't necessarily need for a short amount of time to get to where you want to get. So as it gets closer, I'm definitely going to explain more about what I'm sacrificing and how much I'm willing to sacrifice to get to where I want to get. But I just wanted to talk to you today about the sacrifices that I'm already starting to make, the sacrifices that I already have to know I will have to make in the future to be able to step on stage and at that moment feel like I've done everything I possibly could to become my very best. So, just something to think about for me and for you, the sacrifices that you want the things that you want to attain. You know, how far are you willing to go? How much are you willing to push? So, if you're not where you're at now, just think about maybe what kind of sacrifices could you make to get yourself that extra step further that would make you feel a little bit better about how hard you're pushing or where you want to go. So, just a little tidbit. Anyway, keep on keeping on. And I hope everything's going great and everyone's achieving their goals.